UK intelligence has analysed the successful strike carried out by Ukraine's defence forces on the Russian strategic airbase Engels, 2 in Russia's Saratov Oblast on the night of 19 to 20 March. UK intelligence reported that on the night of 19 to 20 March, Ukraine's defence forces launched a drone attack on an ammunition depot located at the Russian strategic aircraft airbase Engels, 2. They stated it is almost certain that the struck area stored a range of aircraft munitions used in attacks against Ukraine. As a result, the analysis suggests that significant losses are likely to disrupt the ability to carry out strike operations from the airbase in the short term. Russian aircraft have also highly likely been dispersed to surrounding airfields, as has become standard practice in response to Ukrainian deep strike operations, UK intelligence noted. The analysts also stressed that this was Ukraine's most successful strike on a Russian ammunition depot in 2025. It also highlights the continuing struggles that stretched Russian air defense face in protecting its strategic military locations. A source in Ukraine's general staff told the media that the explosions at Engels, 2 airbase were the result of joint operations by Ukraine's security service and the Armed Forces Special Operations Forces. The source revealed that the successful drone attack by the SSU and SOF led to a fire, explosions and secondary detonation of munitions near the airbase.
In the village of Repyakovka, Krasnoyarsk district in Belgorod region, Russian army soldiers looted the homes of Russians instead of protecting them. Russian soldiers entered Repyakovka to repel an attack by the Ukrainian armed forces on the Belgorod region, but decided to gut the homes of locals. There were no Ukrainian soldiers in the village, but Russian fighters were busy with their usual business, looting. Our soldiers are such good guys. They protect us. They climb into other people's houses. One of the village residents bitterly commented in a conversation with the publication Pepel. According to him, at least 20 houses were robbed. In some houses lie the dead Russian soldiers, he added. Empty bottles of alcohol from drinking parties are scattered around the house. Earlier, Belgorod region governor Vyacheslav Gladkov reported that entry to Repyakovka was temporarily restricted. However, local residents say that a significant portion of people remained in the village, unable to leave. There was no evacuation as such. People were informed about everything when it was no longer possible to leave. Many broke through on their own. Others are afraid to leave their homes. There are too many drones. It is impossible to leave the village, a resident said. Some, in desperation, are returning to the village across the fields to try to save their property from the hands of their own marauding soldiers. But the situation is becoming increasingly dangerous. The governor is urging people not to return, and there are already wounded among those who have risked it. The artistic director of the Repyakovka Cultural Development Center and United Russia deputy Tamara Melnikova was forced to admit in an interview with Peplu that looting does indeed take place. However, she claims that the evacuation was organized clearly and quickly, although the villagers themselves tell a completely different story. The head of the administration was busy with the evacuation from early morning. There was enough transport. Everyone was persuaded to leave, especially children and the elderly, Melnikova insists. But the reality turned out to be different. Many stayed. There was shelling in the village, and Russian soldiers were in charge of the houses, robbing even their own citizens. The looting of the Russian army has long been its calling card in the occupied territories of Ukraine. But now the Russians are forced to admit their soldiers do not differentiate between theirs and theirs. They rob everyone they can reach. 4 Russian attack helicopters were destroyed in the Belgorod region. They were eliminated by missile strikes from Ukrainian HIMARS systems, according to the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The Special Operations Forces, in cooperation with the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine Missile Forces and Artillery, destroyed 2 Russian Ka-52 helicopters and 2 Mi-8s, the statement said. According to the Ukrainian Armed Forces, all the helicopters were destroyed by missile strikes in Russia's rear, where Russians created a platform for aircraft to jump up a camouflaged position for rapid movement of aircraft or unexpected attacks on the security and defense forces of Ukraine. The target was attacked with HIMARS M30A2 I3 ammunition, 180,000 tungsten fragments each. Russia once again thought that it was unreachable in the deep rear. We have once again proved that there is nothing unattainable for the Ukrainian Special Forces, the Special Forces said. Ukrainian specialists have been studying the Ka-52 for a long time. They have learned that this helicopter contains high-tech components from Western and Asian countries. In particular, we are talking about chips, microprocessors, integrated circuits, receivers, flash memory, telecommunication transformers, transceivers, linear stabilizers, microcircuits. Without them, the Ka-52 would not be able to operate, since Russia is not capable of producing such technological products. The Ka-52 Alligator is a formidable attack helicopter employed by the Russian military, known for its advanced capabilities and firepower. However, its sophistication only comes with a hefty price tag, with each helicopter costing approximately $16 million. The loss of the Ka-52 Alligator helicopter is not just a financial setback, but also a blow to their operational capabilities in the region. The Mi-8 is a Soviet-era aircraft used most commonly as a transport aircraft by both the Russian military and civilian government departments. It can also be used for combat and command purposes. The helicopter has an estimated price tag of around $10 to $15 million. The Mi-8 and Ka-52 helicopters are cornerstones of Russia's military aviation, each serving distinct yet complementary roles in the war against Ukraine. The Mi-8, a Soviet-era design introduced in the 1960s, is a versatile workhorse, capable of transporting troops, delivering supplies, and even providing limited fire support when equipped with rocket pods. Its reliability and adaptability have made it a mainstay for Russian operations, from troop movements near contested areas like Kharkiv to logistical support in occupied territories. The Ka-52, by contrast, is a modern attack helicopter entering service in the early 2010s and designed specifically for combat. According to Oryx, an open-source intelligence platform that tracks visually confirmed losses, Russia has lost at least 61 Ka-52s and 85 Mi-8s as of early 2025.